If you send an automobile through a car wash and only half the car is going to get washed, do you pay half price? I have paid a hefty price in service to the Lord, losing a foot and an ankle to a flesh-eating bacteria that was very aggressive, and had I waited a little bit longer, we would have been talking. This here is loss just below the knee. I still have my calf, but the flesh-eating bacteria would have worked its way up to my thigh within a matter of 24 hours. I would have lost everything. I have recently discovered that something that um, came to my attention when I was so happy. I was gushing over, overjoyed that first day that I was walking again after 6 months and 2 days. It was 3 days later that I was walking on my and showing the video of walking at a grocery store. This is the flip side. You want to pause the video and going in there, sharing the video with people, just really, really full of joy, as you would understand, and you can likely appreciate after not having walked, after having had something you take for granted taken away, and suddenly you have it again. There is joy. There was a lot of joy, and that joy, I shared it with two people at one of the local groceries that I go to all the time, and nice people, but it never came up the topic of ministry or pointing or steering, I should say, the topic to talking about God and the things of God. But it lent itself, my having been injured, and this is the takeaway I want you to carry with you, is my testimony has become that much more stronger because of my weakness. Don't be afraid to share where you have fallen short or when there's been a tragedy. Both persons on the same day in the grocery store who work for the grocery store, they both basically shouted, didn't even weren't even quiet about it. They were like PTL. And I was so encouraged by what I didn't start out it being a testimony. I was just saying hello, but I was so full of happiness. And this harkens back to the joy of the Lord just coming out of your pores. The very dictionary definition of the evidence of the unseen, which is the word faith, that's where it comes from. And it just comes out of you. And I understand a little bit better now, following those reactions, that my testimony is stronger because of the amputation. I can help inspire other people. What happened the other day was that with my physical therapist, the PT person told me a great majority of people that go through what you're going through, they do not do the, no pun intended here, and that wasn't the word used, but the Lord's giving me this word. They don't do the legwork. They give up. And they just then resign themselves to being Batman in a wheelchair. And you'll see the amazing discovery that there's a whole video game mode, M like Mary ODE, where you can play as Batman in a wheelchair. I was astounded. Now, I'm still using the wheelchair for longer walks and carrying groceries and stuff. I'm not there where I can stand on my own 2 feet with a bunch of groceries. But so the PT person is telling me people give up. A lot more people give up than actually put in the time to do the training and such. and I have fallen on hard times. I'm going to provide a GoFundMe link with this video. You're helping me, sharing in my burdens right now are greatly appreciated. I have what I'm looking at is approximately a $600 or $650 plumbing job that needs to be done. And no money's coming in right now, gang, in my bathtub. These are just attacks that came. Um, let me tell you what ended up occurring on the day of the grocery store, getting back to that. So I'm in the store. My parents are coming over later that same day. I had gone at the same strip mall to a hardware store because a screw had fallen off of the chair that I use, and I had to get the chair screw put back on. So there was an Ace Hardware there. They were happy to put me, to screw it on free of charge and get me back up and running. And then I went to the grocery store. I said, well, I knew that Mom and Dad were bringing chicken over on the visit. And I said, let me ask about maybe some chopped melon, honeydew, cantaloupe, watermelon. I hadn't decided. And one of the two people that I shared the fact that I'm back on my feet, that Batman is back in action, is the person that was working the produce. And as it turned out, also the person who's working in the hot deli counter. Two people. And so the person of the produce said, well, you got to try this dark watermelon. It's the best that I've tasted in the 23 years I've been here. So I got to sample it. It was delicious. And I bought the watermelon. And as I'm heading to the checkout, there comes over the speakers of the grocery store, attention shoppers, we have a raffle that's about to begin over in the hot deli section. And I ended up winning the raffle. And guess what the raffle was? I couldn't believe it. It was a free chicken. So you have to be paying attention to these markers of confirmation. So I called Mom and Dad back excitedly and telling them, you don't have to buy chicken and bring over chicken. God provided. Jehovah Jireh, the Lord of provisions. Anyway, my point is that I find it somewhat ironic that tomorrow I'm going to be teaching about washing feet. And if the group ends up over the next two studies, because the regular teacher returns the following Friday, and they're going to carry over the lesson. And I told them, look, I don't want to include as part of the lesson a basin and a towel and a soap to wash people's voluntarily, whoever wants to participate, their feet. But if you end up, I'll volunteer to offer the 1 foot I have. Although this foot now is waterproof, so maybe I'll offer it up as well. But I was telling them, with me, it's only 50%. You only have to wash 1 foot. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the materials. As always, it's daily. It goes out. Copy, paste, share, forward it, pay it along. When you forward it to those in your social circles, it's credited to you, not me, as having performed a soft touch form of evangelism. God bless you all today.